Alright guys, welcome to the Ultimate Ecom Funnel webinar. And in this webinar, I'm going to show you guys how to build the perfect ecom funnel to get results. Okay, and at the end, I'm going to give you one of the funnel that we made a lot of money with, and you can take that funnel and just replace it. And it's sort of like a fill in the blanks kind of template. You can replace it with your product details, and you'll be able to sell it. So the reason I shot this webinar is because a lot of people kept asking us how to build these funnels that convert really well. Okay, so I just wanted to do this webinar, show you guys how to build the perfect ecom funnel that converts pretty damn good. Okay, so let's get into the webinar. Here's a few house rules for you guys. Number one, turn off all phones, social media, everything like that, so you stay distraction free. You don't want to have too many distractions, because the information that I'm going to share with you is very valuable, and if you have too many distractions, it's just not going to help you as well. Okay. Number two, results are not typical. Okay, so this is we do not guarantee any results, because there's a lot of things that your results are going to depend on, a lot of variables, such as your product, such as your dedication to the craft, such as your ability to implement some of the strategies here that I'm going to teach you. So results are not typical, and none of the results I'm going to show you serve as a guarantee. Okay, don't just learn, execute. So one of the biggest problems I see in the internet marketing business is a lot of people go through these courses, but they don't implement anything that they learn. So they'll watch hours and hours and hours of courses, but they really won't even implement anything, you know. And this just sucks, right? You don't wanna be that sort of I don't want to be that sort of person that goes through hours and hours of courses and doesn't implement anything, because you're not going to get any results if you don't implement stuff. Okay? So, today, the contents of today's webinar. Number one, I'm going to show you guys why we need to use funnels. Number one, I'm going to show you what funnels, I'm going to tell you what funnels actually mean. How does a funnel work? How is it different from a website? And why you need to use a funnel. Okay. And in number two, I'm going to show you the 6-figure blueprint, compressed. So in the other webinar that I'm going to shoot, titled "How to Get Started with E-commerce," if you're watching this by the time I'm shooting it, on the day I'm actually shooting it, the webinar is not available yet. But if you watch this a week down the line or so, the webinar is probably available by then, so you can watch that and learn the 6-figure blueprint, the full version. But in this webinar, I'm going to show you the compressed version, because it's really, really important that you understand how the business model works. Number three, key metrics. There's a lot of terms and a lot of specific slang words that we're going to be using that are very specific to this industry, especially the e-com industry. And it is very important for you to know these terms, so it's easier to communicate and it's easier for me to teach you stuff. So I'm going to show you the key terms and the key metrics, or whatever that's necessary for you to understand these things. The different types of funnels. So there's a few different type of funnels. There's the application funnel, there's a sales page funnel, there's a few different funnels, and I'm going to show you guys what types of funnels there are and which one you should be using based on your business model. After that, number five, I'm going to be showing you how to create the offer. So I'm going to walk you through how to create the offer, and then I'm going to show you how to create it by actually creating one myself. So I'll take a few products, I'll try to come up with the offer, and I'll show you guys exactly how to do that. After that, number six, I'm going to be showing you guys funnel building software. So there's different softwares that you could use to build the funnels, one of which is ClickFunnels. There's another software called Megaphone. There's a software called Kajabi, Katra, bunch of softwares. So I'm going to be showing you guys what funnel softwares exist in the marketplace and which one should you use. How to use our done for you ultimate funnel. So I'm going to be giving you guys a funnel, and I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to use this funnel. And just go create your offer and then take the offer and put it on a funnel page, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do it. tips and strategies to 10x your results. I'm going to be giving you guys a few tips and strategies that we've learned from testing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in ads and funnels, and show you guys exactly what seems to work for us and what doesn't work. So this should be fun. Let's first talk about why you need to use funnels for your e-commerce business. But before that, what is a funnel? What is a sales funnel? There's two ways of selling products and building a business online. Either you set up a simple website, a simple website, and pray that your ad costs are cheap and high quality enough for you to survive. Or you can control the whole process of warming up your prospects, persuading them to buy product number one and then product number two, and so forth. The second process can be achieved through something called a sales funnel. Okay, let me break it down even more for you. Now, before we even get there, guys, let me give you a quick example. Right now, I don't have a slide ready for it, but here's how a sales funnel works. Right, you take 101 sales. Let's say you're out there knocking on doors trying to sell people. Right, what is the process? Okay. A website, for example, is like where you go in and you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna put my flyer, and if someone buys, they buy. That's how a website works. A funnel, however, is a more aggressive style of marketing. It's more like how you would go and knock on doors to sell stuff, right? So you would go and knock on doors, you would tell them about your product, you would tell them all these details about your product, you would try to see what their problems are, and then you would close them on something, right? So there's the whole systemized process. It's not necessarily something as simple as putting a flyer out there and saying, hey, if you want to buy stuff, come to me. It's not as simple as that. You make them buy from you. You persuade them to buy from you. The problem with door-to-door selling, however, is you're going to end up spending a lot of time knocking on every door individually. And also the whole sales process is going to be a bit longer than it needs, because now you're trying to sell one person at a time. What if you could take the whole door-to-door selling model and do it on a mass, like, what if I told you that there was a way to talk to a mass number of people at the same time? So you're not talking to one person, but you're talking to 100 people at the same exact time. Right? You're answering their objections, you're trying to create the need for the product, you're persuading them to buy. Now, what if I told you that all you have to do is do the work once, and then all you gotta do is get people to see this funnel. And that's gonna do everything for you. It's gonna handle objections, it's gonna persuade them and all that. That is what a sales funnel means. A sales funnel is a process designed to sell your customers or persuade them to buy products from you. It's more aggressive, like door-to-door selling, but you can do it on a mass global basis, and it's the thing that converts the most. Okay, because this is not wishful marketing. This is more controlled mass persuasion, as I like to call it. Let me break it down even more for you. So here's how a typical business works, right? They have, let's say the typical business has like 4 products here. They have 4 different products. And here's the biggest mistake they make. They rely too much on the front end offer to make all the money. Okay, so like what they'll do is they'll be like, oh, hey, here's they put a flyer out and they're like, oh, well, come in and buy a car, if they're selling cars. The guy goes to the car showroom, he buys a car, and then he gets out. That's it. And these guys are like, oh, we made some money. Oh my God, this is so cool. No, that is a big mistake. Okay, they'll only try to sell their customers on a single product per visit. In this case, they're running, like if you take the e-commerce world, they're running ads to 4 different products, and when they find a product that's selling, they'll continue to sell it. Okay, so in this case, if you look here, what they'll do is they'll run ads to this product, they'll run ads to this product, they'll run ads to this product, and they'll run ads to this product. Right? So what's happening now? So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these people, like 4 of these products are being advertised. So let's say this product converts, right? They will instantly shelve all 3 of these products and just sell this. So they'll keep putting in the money and selling this product and fulfilling it. It's a simple business model, but problem is it's broken. It's very rare that you will be successful selling one single product. It just doesn't work like that. Okay, so it's like It's like, again, the person that goes to a car dealership and buys one car. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that you could have sold them. You could have sold them additional insurance. You could have sold them something else, um, as part of the package, right? But if you don't sell them that, then it's like you're losing out on money. Okay, the system works as long as you can keep the advertising costs low, but it's a very hard and super unpredictable. The companies are barely making a profit on the front end with a system like this, right? So what is a sales funnel? A sales funnel is a set of pages built out to control and advance a person through different stages of the sales cycle. Generally, sales funnels are built out for only a few products. As far as what software should you use, I know I said I'll cover this later, but let me just tell it to you now. The softwares that you use are, either, I would recommend ClickFunnels. That's the best one. But if you're using Shopify and you want everything to be in-house, you could use Funnel Builder, or you could use Zipify Pages, or you could use CartHook to make it work. Okay. Here's how the whole system works. So you have traffic, you have leads, you have sales, you have upsells. Okay, and that's really it. So you send a bunch of people to this page, you get the lead. Now, a lead, back in the day, a few years ago, a lead only meant an email address. Now, a lead doesn't just mean email address, it means a bunch of stuff. So if you're using Facebook advertising and people are hitting your website, and you can remarket to them using the retargeting traffic, that is still a lead. Okay, so you convert a traffic into leads, you convert leads into sales, and then you start selling them more stuff, which is upsells. And I'll cover more of this during the six-figure blueprint method. Even though sales funnels and online stores operate on a similar principle, they function differently. Stores aren't built for single products usually, but instead they're built to sell multiple products and test out different upsells and stuff like that. It's hard to build a separate funnel for every different product you're testing. I mean, if you're testing, let's say, 100 different products, it's hard to go out there and build a funnel specifically for each and every product, because a funnel, I would say, it takes you at least 15 to 30 minutes to build that. Okay, probably more, probably an hour, depending on what your expertise is. In the topic, some people take 3 to 4 hours just to build out one funnel. Okay, so building out a funnel for, let's say, 100 different products, that's going to be a lot of time that you're going to spend. So let me calculate that real quick, just so we could get the data on point. So we got 2 hours into 100 funnels. So that's about 200 hours, okay, which is a lot of time. But when you're using an online store, you'll be able to upload 100 different products right on the spot. And it'll take you like 5 to 10 minutes to set it up. Like, all you gotta do is write the copy. A lot of times when you're doing the copy for, like, let's say 100 different products, you're just copy pasting from the AliExpress descriptions or whatever description. So it doesn't take you a lot of time, and that's what stores are used for. It's to, like, test these products. So because you could spend a lot less time just uploading them and just getting them out there ready to go. So yeah, Shopify is a great platform to build an online store on. What themes do you use for Shopify? Venture, if you're doing free. Turbo, if you want a paid theme. Okay, so these two are the golden themes, really. Here's how I personally do it. I use Shopify to test products fast. It's easier to add and test products with different upsells, and, like, honestly, it's just pretty well built for that specific purpose, for testing products and e-commerce and stuff like that. I find winning products, and then I use ClickFunnels to scale them to the next level. Once you find a few products that are converting well, you can use CF to build funnels and scale them. That's as simple as it is. Funnels are much more controllable for scaling. You have a lot of customization too. But if you're testing every single product via super cool looking funnels, you're going to be wasting a lot of time just setting stuff up and not actually driving traffic. Like, once you do figure out what converts and what doesn't, like, you could use ClickFunnels to help you double, triple, or even quadruple your conversions. Here's how a sales funnel works, right? So they work like McDonald's, right? So you go to McDonald's, you buy a Big Mac. The best sales line in history has been, do you want fries with that? So here's how it works. So they barely make a decent profit on the $3.99 range. Okay, That's from what I've heard, they don't really make a huge profit on the burgers. They make a profit on the fries and the Coke. That's just how McDonald's makes their money. Okay, if you look at the numbers here, they sold you a $4 Big Mac. Okay, and then now they're like, oh, do you want fries and Coke with it? And now you pay them a bit more money, and now they've basically doubled the amount of money that you've spent on their store. Okay, just by asking you one line, which is, do you want Coke and fries with it? And a lot of people say yes to it because they're like, oh, well, I'm buying the burger anyway, so might as well. So that's how the whole sales funnel system works. So in our case, right, let's say we're selling stuff to people that love to cook, or chefs, right? How do we do it? So first we try to sell them a steak and knives. If we find out that this is the winning product, this product converts really well on the front end, we don't just sell this, we sell them this product too. And then we sell them this product too. Okay, so this we're going to sell at, let's say, $60. Now, let's say out of these 5 people, let's say 4 of them bought, let's say all 5 of them bought this. Okay, and let's say 4 of them bought this product too. And let's say 2 people bought this product. So now just by putting these 2 products in place, two for $80 here, okay, 2 people bought this, so that's $20. So you made $100 more just by getting these 2 products in there. Okay, and these 2 products also, they're not necessarily something that you have to manufacture in the beginning. Like, these could be dropship products. Okay, it doesn't really matter. So you not only made a $60 on the front, but you also made $100 on the back end, or maybe more. You know what I mean? So yeah, and you basically, like, if people buy the whole set, you basically double your money, guys. You know, it's pretty lucrative, this business model. You can engineer this with the use of a sales funnel. Why use a funnel? Number one, high degree of control. Funnels allow you to build super conversion optimized websites and page per single product upsell as required. So for every product, when you're using an online store, you don't have a specifically built out page. You have a page that's generically built out to include a multitude of products and multitude of upsells. When it comes to using funnels, you can build one conversion optimized page for every single product or upsell. Okay, so it's not very scattered, it's not distracting the customer, it's focused on one product that solves one big problem. Okay, so usually that's how it's done, and it converts really, really well. And again, it gives you a high degree of control. You can, because it's conversion optimized, you'll be able to do a lot of cool stuff with it. Split testing. You'll be able to do A/B testing or multivariable testing to test different backgrounds and different colors and to see what converts better. Okay, even a 5% increase in conversions can lead to you making $500 a day if you're making a certain amount of money right now. So let's say you're making $10,000 a day. Even a 5% increase is going to mean that you're going to make $500 a day. Okay, just a 5% increase. Now, a lot of times, sometimes when you do the A to B testing or multivariable testing, you're gonna see conversion numbers go up to as much as 15%. So you're gonna be making $1,500 more just by split testing certain elements on the page. You'll be able to do that easily with funnels. Okay, easy to use. Even for beginners, you don't have to hire coders or designers to build funnels. Like, you can literally build them yourself. With some of the softwares out there, it's very easy to use. More profitability. Since you can control a lot of the processes with the funnel, and also because it's a super conversion focused funnel, you can increase the profitability. Okay, websites are too scattered and distract your audience with different offers, ads, and stuff like that. A funnel, on the other hand, is designed to sell 1 to 2 products at a time and forces the audience to either take action and buy something or just leave the funnel. So it's more of a aggressive form of direct marketing. Higher conversions. The ability to do a lot of testing allows you to test a lot of major features which increase the overall conversions of your funnel. So that is pretty much self-explanatory. Now let's talk about the six-figure blueprint. Okay, here's how it works: audience, the front end, and the back end. This is the formula. Okay. All right. So now let's go a bit more deeper into the six-figure blueprint. Okay. So number one, you got the audience. Find a niche in an audience that's big enough for you to enter and dominate. Now, first, guys, is I'm going to be showing you a brief, not an introduction, but like a brief description of these three things. And then later, I'm going to be showing you a bit more advanced specifics as to how to choose an audience and what to sell and whatnot. All right. Number two, the front end product. This is the first original product you offer or sell to your audience to turn them from being a customer, from being a prospect or a member of the audience to being a customer that actually sends you money. Okay. Then you got the back end. Once they are your customer, they already trust you now. So now you need to proceed to sell them more products. What do you sell them? I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to choose the products you want to upsell these people. And I'm going to run you through a few of my upsell methods that you can steal and use. Once you master the art of finding the perfect audience, matching it with the perfect front end and back end product, you'll be able to build a six-figure business as long as you get the other part right, which is the traffic part. Because you could have the best funnel in the world, have the best blueprint in the world. If you don't get enough traffic to it, you're not going to make any money. But luckily for you, you have the Facebook ads webinar too. So you can watch that and learn the traffic details to really scale. Picking an audience. Now, okay, so this is like the best quote of Dan Kennedy, all right? And it goes like this: it's every business, product, service either appeals or has the potential to appeal strongly to a certain definable group of people, then it appeals to all people. Okay, so in a sense, what he means is if you're going out there and trying to sell a product to everyone, that's going to be 10 times harder than choosing a specific niche and just selling stuff to them. Because there's always a group of people that is looking for products to buy. Okay, so for example, if you're selling a T-shirt that says, I'm the greatest hunter in the world. Okay, like a very cool looking T-shirt that says I'm the greatest hunter in the world. Now you have two options. You can go out there and you can run ads to freaking everyone. Like you could like target the entire USA and start running ads to them and basically tell them, hey, there's this cool T-shirt. I think you should buy this. It's not going to work as well as you running these ads specifically to people that are already hunters, right? So, for example, like imagine these two ads, right? Ad number one goes something like this: hey, this is a cool T-shirt, buy it now. Okay, and like that's going out to everyone in the USA. Is that going to convert better? Or is an ad that says, hey, are you a hunter? If you are, I'm a hunter too, and I made this T-shirt for you. Buy this now. What do you think is going to convert better? Number two, right? And you're going to have a lot of benefits because now you don't want to reach as many people, so you're going to spend a lot less amount of money on advertising. Number two, you're going to have higher conversion rates, so you're going to make more money for every dollar that you're going to spend. Okay, and the whole business model in itself, like you're building this brand value here. You're just not selling random stuff. I mean, that's one of the things that people do with like building out these, as the AliExpress dropshippers call it, a general store or a superstore. You cannot build a superstore. It's not a real business. It's just like it's just a it's just a hustle. Okay, and like I've known many people with big general stores, like people that have made millions and millions of dollars in revenue with general stores. You talk to them at the time they're selling the store, and their stores like usually sell for extremely small amount of money, like 0.50 of all the profits that they're making or something like that. Sometimes it's 0.98, because no one wants to buy it. It's just a hustle. They just took a few products from AliExpress, figured out how to advertise it really well on Facebook, and they're going to keep it going as long as the product sells. The moment the product starts acting up, now they're clueless. There's no business there. It's just a hustle. No one wants to buy it. But if you look at niche stores, right? Okay, let me give you this example, right? Let's say you have an AliExpress superstore, like a full-on superstore or a general store, and you make about $1 million in revenue, out of which, let's say there's a 10% profit margin, which is $100,000, right? So if you're making $100,000 a month with a superstore, and you get, let's say, 0.70 0.70% of the money, like someone wants to buy a store for 0.70 of the amount of profit you're making per month. Here's the funny part. So when you're usually selling, I know the number one question that you have right now is, why would someone pay a 0.70 for a store doing $100,000 a month? I mean, they're gonna make 100 grand from it, right? Why are they only paying 70K? Who is insane enough to sell it? See, that's the deal, right? When you're running general stores, there's usually a multitude of problems, either with fulfillment, the customers aren't getting their products, something's going on. Okay, there's usually something going on, or the product's about to die and stuff like that. There's just a lot of uncertainty. So investors don't necessarily want to invest in something like that, especially because it requires them to do a lot of work. Um, and for that reason, they're like, let's buy the store. But again, if the products die, then the store is useless. I mean, it's trash. It's just a website. So, and usually, like, if the store is going good, no one really wants to sell it. I mean, they just want to sell it because they have a shit ton of work to do on the store, and there's all these problems that they're facing. So when they go and try to sell the store, a lot of times they get paid like 0.70, 0.80%, 0.98% is like the maximum that I've heard, multiple of the profits. So if a store is doing 100 grand a month in profit, and keep in mind, guys, they're doing $1 million a month in revenue, so they have overhead. Like they have employees to manage. They have a ton of other things to do. They have like mass fulfillment going on. They got huge support agency teams and stuff like that. Lot of work, lot of work. So you're getting into like this whole army of work basically. So they're gonna get paid about 70 grand, okay, when they sell the store at a 0.70 multiple. Even at a 1x multiple, they're gonna get paid like 100 grand, and this is for a store that does $1 million a month in revenue. Now take a niche store, right? With a niche store, even if you're doing as less as, let's say, $100,000 a month, okay, and that's all you need, just assume that you have a store doing 100 grand a month, out of which the same profit margin, 10%, $10,000 a month is profit. Now, how does it work? Do you get paid 1x multiple? Hell no. And that's the good part. You have a brand, you have an audience, you have a cult like following, you have a fan base, you have all these additional things because you're in a niche audience. So people want to pay more money for it. So if your niche store, is making money, they know for a fact that they can get other products to sell, because at the end of the day, you have a brand. You're gonna get paid anywhere from 5 to 10x the amount of monthly profit that you're making. So if the profit's $10,000 a month, you're gonna end up getting paid like 50 to 100 grand on it. Okay, and this is just with $100,000 in revenue. So if you were doing $1 million in revenue, you could sell this store for like 300 to maybe 500 grand even. Because usually people get paid like a lot for niche stores. For general stores, not really. A niche store, hell yes. So to put that into context, right? You're getting paid more money to do less work when you build a niche store. That's as simple as it is. Okay, so now let's get on to here's how to pick the target market. Number one, pick a niche target market you're super passionate about. You want to pick something that you're passionate about. If you're not passionate about the target market you're picking, it's just gonna be hard. It's just gonna make it hard for you to advertise these products, because of course you're trying to build a cult-like following here, right? So for example, if you're in the golf niche, and the slangs of like the golf niche. Like for example, me, I do a lot of stuff in multitude of niches. Like one of the niches, like animals niche. I know a lot about animals, you know, uh, and a lot of the terms that they use, and I know exactly what to sell people and stuff like that. Okay, if you take gaming for example, I know a lot about gaming. Like I know what first person shooter is because like I game a lot too. It's like like I got like everything. I got every console ever sold, you know, and like I play a lot. So when I write my ads, right, it's very easy for me to communicate my hype and my desire towards the niche to the audience, and they can relate with it and they're going to buy from you. So I could use certain slang words, I could use certain relevant expressions to communicate with them, and it's cool. However, if I was getting into something like the golf niche, I have no idea about golf because I don't play it. You know, if I was getting into that niche, now it's messed up because I don't know the slang. There are ways around this. One of the ways is you could go and you could buy a few ebooks and let's say golf and like you can read it out and somehow learn to be good at the niche and then write your ads, which is perfectly fine. Some people do it, some people make a lot of money doing it. But I wouldn't recommend it. It's just easier, especially when you're starting out. It's just easier to choose a niche you're already passionate about and try to build a business around that, as long as it's not too small. Pick the perfect size niche, neither too broad nor too narrow. So one of the biggest mistakes I see people making is like they'll pick a niche that's mega broad. Okay, so for example, let me think of a niche that is appropriate here. So yeah, okay, well here you go. So they'll pick a niche like poverty, and they'll be like, all poor people gotta buy this stuff. I don't know, guy. I'm just like I'm just going through here. I'm trying to find like the perfect niche, honestly. Perfect broad niche. The example. I can't think of one. I guess the entertainment niche, right? That's broad. Like there's people that'll take the entertainment niche. They'll include a bunch of everything. They'll put news in there. They'll put the Marvel stuff in there. They'll put a bunch of stuff in there. That is too broad. Okay, it's too broad. You're appealing to everyone. You're trying to sell something to everyone. That is going to be extremely hard to advertise. Take Amazon for example. They want to sell something to everyone. The reason Amazon is successful is because number one, they started at a point where not a lot of people were doing it. Number two, well, as a matter of fact, when Amazon actually started, they were completely niched down too. They were just selling books for a long period of time, and then when that started working is when they started adding more and more products to their product line, or and then start selling those things. But up until I think for like 2 or 3 years after they started, they were just selling books. Like that was their deal, right? That's what you should be doing too. So like you could go super narrow in the beginning and then slowly start widening up. That's the smart way to do it. Anyway, you could, however, do entertainment if you made it specific to a certain age group. So it's like entertainment niche for everyone who were born between, who are now 21 to 40 years old. Okay? So to appeal to these people, you can do anything like Marvel related stuff. Again, no, don't do any copyrighted products, guys. Like, don't sell any copyrighted products if you're choosing this audience. But you could do Harry Potter stuff because like people that are 21 to 40, they've watched Harry Potter, they've watched Marvel stuff, they've watched a few other things. But if you're gonna broaden it to a point like where it's just entertainment and you're appealing to every audience, you're gonna be selling. You could be selling stuff from like the 1980s. You know what I mean? And that's not going to convert very well because, again, you're appealing to everyone. You're appealing to the Marvel people, and then you have a picture of Marilyn Monroe. Funny part is people are actually going to buy the Marilyn Monroe thing, but, I just couldn't think of an example, so I came up with that. But you know what I mean? A third thing you should look for, guys, is have a pre-existing buyer history. How do you figure this out? You look to see if there are any competitors whatsoever. So if you're getting into a niche, right, and the niche is way too narrow, and it's not a niche that is constantly buying stuff, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money to advertise your product. Okay, Um, it's like I know a lot of entrepreneurs suggest that you go after these minute little crowd of people, whatever, and like they try to tell you to create these opportunities and stuff like that. Problem is they've never run a business before. Okay, so they have no idea about how this works in physical reality. The way something like this works in reality, guys, is honestly, if you're trying to create the need, you need to have a pre-existing, like you have to have a big audience for your offer even before you start the advertising. Okay, so like you just need to have, for example, like if you have a Facebook page with, like, let's say 100,000 likes, and you wanted to venture into this new niche that is untapped, then you'll be able to do something, like you'll be able to get some traction to it. Okay, and even then you need a lot of money. Now if you don't have it, you need to spend thousands and 10,000, like you need to spend a lot of money creating the need in the marketplace for the product that you're trying to sell. This is fine if you're a millionaire. All right, so if you're Donald Trump, I don't know if he's a millionaire or a billionaire or whatever. If he gets in it and he's like, all right, you know what, here's 10 million, start selling this stuff, that's gonna work. Okay, because now there's enough money for you to go in and create the need. But if you're getting started with a shoestring budget like $5 to $10,000, and you feel like the secret is to tap into one of these untapped niches and try to sell stuff, it's not gonna work very well for you. I already know because I've tried it. Okay, a lot of the things that I'm talking to you about today is actually all from personal experience, either of my own or someone else that I either ran the ads for as an agency, or someone that's a buddy of mine that I've helped or consulted at one point. So yeah, you gotta go to ClickBank. You can go to ClickBank and you can type in your niche in the marketplace section, and you'll be able to see all the offers that are currently famous. So it's like, for example, if you're in the health and fitness niche, which is a big audience, which has a big audience that has pre-existing buyer history. As a matter of fact, I think the two biggest niches that have huge, uh, the three biggest niches actually that have a huge pre-existing buyers history is health and fitness, animals, and entrepreneurship. All right, that's just how it is. Like entrepreneurs buy a ton of stuff. Health and fitness people buy a ton of stuff, and animal lovers buy a ton of stuff. All right. So the way you figure that out is you go to ClickBank, you type your niche, and then you're gonna see a bunch of products lined up, like affiliate products and stuff like that. Check the gravity scores of like the best products. Like if the gravity score is above 50, then there's certain offers selling well in that audience. If it's not, then don't, like it just means that there are no affiliate products. So again, this depends from the niche to niche. So if you're, for example, selling apparel, go try to find other stores selling apparel, in that niche. So how do you do that? You go to Google. All right, you go to Google and you type in niche space plus my Shopify. That's it. All you gotta do is go to Google and type in your niche, which in this case is gaming, and then you gotta put a plus, and then you gotta put my Shopify, and that's gonna pull out all the stores for you that are currently selling in your niche. Then what you gotta do is you gotta take the stores, right, and you gotta put their name on Google. You gotta put their name on Facebook and see how many likes their page has, and then go to this ads library, which is where you can. And in the first you know in the next module, which is going to be like the first webinar. Usually I do these webinars from, it doesn't go from 1 to 3, it goes from 3 to 1, because first I want to cover the Facebook ads section, and then we sell people on the sales funnel webinar, and then it's the getting started webinar. The next webinar, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to do it. The way you do it is you find the page, you put it in an ads library, and then you pull out all the ads that they're running. And the most important metric that will tell you everything is how long have these guys been running their ads. So if they've been running their ads in a certain niche for a certain period of time, for a few months or for a few years, it means that the ads are working. Because no one in their right mind would be spending money on a campaign that isn't working. Okay? And I'll show you guys exactly how to do it in the next webinar. Number 4, research your audience carefully. This is easy. All you gotta do is go to forums, Facebook groups, anywhere like that, and see what they're talking about. You know what their slang words are, and just try to get to know the market. Really, that's about it. Picking the picking the perfect front end product. So now we know exactly how this funnel is gonna work. Now we gotta learn what? How to pick the perfect front end product, right? So you have this audience. How do you okay, your next immediate task is to pick a product that appeals to them the most and then sell it. How do you know what product is going to sell the most? A lot of this has to do with testing, especially when you're getting started. As you start getting more data of what your audience is going to react to, you don't have to test as much. Okay, so you need to develop what I call as a magic eye for what converts and what doesn't. And this way you'll be able to sell anything. So you'll just be able to see the market and know what is going to work or what is not going to work. But until you get there, you're going to be doing a lot of testing, because that's just how it works. That's how you're going to learn. And here's the criteria. Number 1, sell what's selling. This is probably one of the best tips you'll ever get when you're just getting started and don't have a huge budget. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to create a need for a product that isn't selling well. Again, if the niche you're in is too narrow, or if it's too untouched, there's no pre-existing buyer's history, just leave it alone. Same with the product. If the product has 0 sales, it has 0 sales for a reason. If no one's promoting it for a reason. You don't have to go in and try to use that as an opportunity in the beginning. You can do that when you're rich, not now. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't create the need for a product that isn't already selling well. You can use the business model of dropshipping to find front-end products in your niche and then sell them on the front end. Take a product that's already selling well and create a unique marketing message to sell it more uniquely. And here's the funny part, right, guys? I mean, if you're running any e-commerce business, right, where you are manufacturing your own products too, you can still use this information to sell stuff. How do you do that? Well, let me explain. So let's say you're selling this cool fishing rod or something, and you manufacture it in the fishing niche. Sell this cool fishing rod, you want to get more sales, you try to advertise it on Facebook, it didn't sell very well. And that's probably why you're watching this webinar right now, because you want to build a great funnel. Let's say you build this fishing rod, and this fishing rod is made out of gold or something, right? And this fishing rod costs like $600. It's hard to sell a $600 product right off of Facebook without a lot of what I call as a very aggressive marketing campaign, which goes on for a few days, and at the end of the few days, end of the 10th or 11th or 12th day, you're going to get a sale. It's like the buyer's process is a bit longer if you're selling a product that's above the price of $100. So what you could do in a situation like that is you could go and find an AliExpress product that's selling very well and sell that, okay? And then you upsell the customers onto your golden fishing rod. How does that work? Again, simple. When you're selling them a cheaper product, right? Let's say like a $30, $40, $50 product. They have now given you their credit card details. They trust you, okay? Now is your chance to start running ads to them specifically and then upselling them into your golden fishing rod, right? Now this sounds a bit weird because the products in question are a golden fishing rod and a normal looking fishing product, right? And that's understandable. But when you're doing it with other products that are very similar, like when you're using front-end products that are similar to your back-end product, this is going to work wonders for you. Because the second purchase is usually the easier one, not the first one. The acquisition is going to be hard because a person's never done business with you. He's never paid you his money. He's never bought any of your stuff before. He's never heard of you. But once he buys something from you, now he knows you, he trusts you, and he's more willing to buy more stuff from you because he's comfortable with you. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. So that's another way you could do it. Lower ticket. It's the best practice to price the front end product at $100 or a lower level. If the product costs more than $100, you would have to spend more money in traffic to acquire customers and even have an improved system. Generally, the lower the front end product is, the better it is. However, that doesn't mean you sell the product at lower than people are willing to pay for it. I'll explain the whole process later, guys. I mean, there's a whole pricing system for how to price your products and stuff like that. I'm going to be showing you a bit of it during the later on section where I'm going to be showing how to create your offer. But even beyond that, I'm going to be showing you more examples of it on the next webinar. Solves a real problem. The products that sell the best are the products that either solve a real problem, and if there is no real problem, fanaticism can, however, replace the real problem. This line, however, is not something that I wrote. It's written by a buddy of mine called Steve Gray. The guy runs like $100 million business. Not $100 million business, but he did over 100 million in sales with ecom so far. So this is like a statement that he wrote, and I just felt the need to put it in here because it's just super important. Easy to fulfill. It is crucial to move quickly when you're getting started. So it's best to find a product that is easily fulfilled. Dropshipping is a business model that can allow you to do this. So you want to be able to go fast in the beginning. You want to be able to go like a jet. Okay, so you want to be able to find a bunch of products and test all of them quickly. If you're gonna rely on, let's say, the manufacturing business model or any of these other business models, you're gonna have to go in and start manufacturing these products or warehousing them or doing any of those things before you actually sell the product, which is the important thing. But if you use drop shipping, you don't necessarily have to do it. Okay, and that's really why the whole drop shipping business model is good. Up until you figure out what products are selling and stuff. After that, you can just warehouse them and really scale it up. Now let's talk about picking the right backend products to sell. Here's the two methods to crush it with a great backend: upsells, cross sells. What is upselling? Upselling is a marketing strategy where you convince someone to buy a more expensive product. A slight variation to it is a downsell, which is a marketing strategy you can use to persuade someone to buy a less expensive product. The best part about upselling is you can increase the amount of money you make without one additional dollar in ad spend. For example, and this is the terrible picture, I know. So if someone's on like a website trying to buy a Samsung, whatever the heck this phone is, and then you're like, hey, we got this phone that's better. It's like an iPhone. It's not an iPhone, I know. Is it? I have no idea. I think this is an iPhone. Yeah, this is an iPhone. It's got the golden ring. That's a terrible case, by the way. So if someone's trying to buy the Samsung phone and you're like, hey, you can get this iPhone for just like $200 more, that is an upsell. Okay. And how to select a product to upsell or downsell? Number one, it needs to be in the same niche. Number two, the upsell number one needs to be of a higher value, and downsell one needs to be of a lower value. So it's just a pricing. So if your first product is $20, your upsell needs to be $25, $30, $40, whatever. Number three, don't try to upsell any product that has a more than 50% increase in price. From what we've tested, anything that has more than a 50% increase in price is generally not going to convert as well. So it's like if you're selling a $20 front end product, your upsell needs to be $30, not $200. Okay, so that, and like if you want to get there, you can get there a bit slower. On the third or the fourth upsell, you can start upselling the big stuff, and you don't have to follow the 50% rule then. But for like the first and the second upsell, I would generally keep it at a certain range. So it's like 50 to 80%. So it's $20 front end product or $50 front end product. You upsell $75 upsell, and then you put in a $150 upsell if you want, or a $140 upsell, or you know. What is cross selling? Cross selling is a marketing strategy where you can use to sell people on buying other products related to your initial purchase or the initial product they're looking at. So if someone's trying to buy an iPhone, cross-selling would be selling them insurance, warranties, phone cases that are related to the initial product. How to select a product to cross-sell? Store bestseller. One of the things you could do is like you could basically make it something like store bestseller, and sell it like that. Sell a product related to the initial product. Use bundles. So it's like people generally buy these products in bundles. Here's a bundle. You know what I mean? And like it's like three different products. That's what Amazon does to us, and we keep falling into the trap. It's like people that have bought this also bought this, and the upsell and the cross-selling formulas. Formula number one, the discount upsell method. The way you do this is you have product number one, and then you sell them another product, which is product number two. But the second product you discount it by 50%. So it's like if you're selling a $40 product and then you have a $100 upsell, you discount the $100 upsell by 50%, and you tell them, hey, you know what, this product is $100, but since you bought the first product, I want to send this to you too for just $50. Click on the button below and buy now. Okay. Conditional shipping method. Product number one, someone buys product number one for, let's say, $50 again. Product number two, enough price to avail free shipping. So you basically tell them, hey, you know what, you're going to be paying $20 for shipping or $10 for shipping, and I don't want you to pay that. So look, we have this other product, it's just $30. If you buy this, you don't have to pay for the shipping. So and guys, this is something that gets very easy when you're using funnels. Okay, so if you're going to use this with Shopify, it's going to be hard because you don't know what product people are buying. But when you're using funnels, it's going to be easier because you can structure the flow. Okay, so product number one is going to be something like $50. As soon as someone buys that, they get a video that says, hey, you have to pay $10 for shipping. It's just weird for you to pay $10 just for shipping. Let me take care of the shipping, and I'll do that. If you order for $80 in our store, I'll give you free shipping. So here's a product you can buy for $30, and it's a cool product, and it's got all these benefits. Now people are buying from your store. Okay, generally, this product has to be something low ticket, guys. If you're selling, let's say, a $100 product with like the free conditional shipping method, it's not going to work. But if it's something like, let's say, $20, $30, something like that, people are going to buy it. More products at a discount. Formula 3, the DDD method. Product number one, product number two, product number three, product number four. This is the downsell method. Okay, so it's like the product number one that you're going to be selling is a $100 product. Then what you do is you sell a product that's lower than it. So it could be $50 or $25. Then you sell product number three, which is $15, and then you sell a product number four that is $5. The way this method works is it's more like an impulse buy kind of thing where people are like, oh, I'm getting that anyway. Oh, cool, this is a nice product, just $15. Oh yeah, whatever. Let me add this to the cart. Oh, it's just $5. What the heck? Like, I'm already spending $150 or $140 on the store. Might as well add this too, so I get it with it. So you cause that sort of effect with it as long as the products that they're selling are lower ticket. However, for this method to work, what we've realized is the second upsell that you're going to hit, right? It needs to be a lower ticket upsell. So it needs to be anywhere from the $20 to $30 range for it to work best. So try that out. Let me know how that goes. Simple upsell method. Product one, $100. Product number two, $150. Product number three, $250. So this is called a simple upsell. This works in the whole 50% increase kind of deal. So yeah, it's a very this is self-explanatory. So you sell a product on the front end for $100. Product number two that you're gonna upsell them, in this case is upsell number one is $150. Upsell number two is $250. Okay, and this is called the bundle method. The way you do this is you just introduce them to a few different products, and you tell them, hey, people that have bought this product have also bought these things. And for this, you can use an app called Frequently Bought Together if you're using Shopify. And yeah, the ATC upsell. Upsell as soon as they add something to the cart. So one of the cool things is as soon as someone adds something to the cart, right? This is more with Shopify. You can upsell these people. Okay, this is because like it's like, oh hey, you're about to buy that product, might as well buy this too, and like show them like a $10 offer, something like that. The checkout upsell. As soon as someone adds something to the cart, they're on the checkout page, they're pulling out their credit card to buy something, you could like have 3 or 4 products on the site that say, hey, add this to the cart, hey, add this to the cart, hey, add this to the cart. And like either, it could be an expensive product, so it's like instead of that, buy this, or generally it's not this one. I don't even know why I called it an upsell, honestly. It's more of a cross sell, but the ATC upsell, email invoice upsell. So when you send them an invoice, right? When they get an invoice about their offer, about everything that they've bought, you can structure your offers in there and sell them too. That's another way to upsell them. Increased quantity discount. So when someone buys one product from your store, they get to buy it for $50. But when they buy 3 of them, they get like, let's say, 20% or 30% discount. So it's like, or buy 4 for $75, something like that. So it's like buy one for $50 and buy 4 for $150. So you get a $50 discount. Stuff like that works. Again, the lower ticket the offer, the better it is to sell. So if it's like, like this, we've crushed this one actually with a sock campaign that we ran. It was like an animal custom printed socks, and we really, really crushed it. The way we ran it with that is like you can buy one pair of socks for $25 or $20, I think, and you could buy a full pair for $60, like 3 or 4 pairs for $60 to $70, and that did really well for us. At one point, I believe with that store, we were doing $2,000 to $3,000 a day. Uh, oh wait, no, we were doing $1,700 a day. So yeah, it's a big store, by the way. There's only like 3 or 4 major brands that are selling it like that, selling the whole custom printed stuff aggressively like that. We were one of the stores. Like the store had like, I don't know, fucking 80K likes or something on Facebook. It was a huge store. I still have a percentage in it. So key terms and metrics. Conversion rate, the percent at which people who visit your page convert into a sale, is called a conversion rate. So 8% conversion rate, for example, means out of every 100 people visiting your site, you get 8 sales. Um, in other times, guys, if you're using a landing page, conversion rate is honestly more about the action. But in this case, in e-commerce, we're mostly using the sales page funnel. So it's like with that, it's just sales. But a lot of times it's just actions. So it's like how many people have added to cart, for example. The percent at which people have added to cart is then going to be called the conversion rate of that page, of the add to cart page. So yeah, conversion rate optimization, the process of tweaking the elements on your site to increase the conversion rate. Fulfillment, delivering your products. Inventory, the stock of products in your business. Landing page, this term usually refers to a lead capture page that is used to collect emails, etc., and generate leads. Number 6, sales page, the page in a sales funnel selling the product. The product description page, same as the sales page but for online stores. Um, same thing really. The home page, the main storefront of an online store. Order form or checkout page, the page where a person can enter the details and place an order. OTO page, there are one-time upsell pages where people are presented with an exclusive one-time deal to buy another product. It's usually like a one-time deal, one-time offer. So it's like you're not gonna see the page again. That's the premise, at least. Some people do like the real one-time upsell thing. Other people fake it. Again, but that's what an OTO means. Upsells, the process of inducing a customer to buy more expensive products from a store, increasing your AOV, is called upselling, and the products you're promoting are called upsells. Cross sells, persuading your customer on buying a product that is related to the product they already bought. Average order value, average dollar amount spent each time a customer places an order. Lifetime value, the estimated revenue you'll make from a customer during your business lifespan. Number 15, shopping cart abandonment, when a potential customer adds a product to the cart but doesn't finish the checkout process. Different funnel building softwares. ClickFunnels, most recommended. CartHook, Funnel Builder, Builderall, least recommended. I hate Builderall. The interface sucks. Number 1. It's too complicated and it gives me a headache. The features are terrible too. So yeah, Zipify. Zipify is a cool one, honestly. The guy that built it is called Ezra Firestone. The guy is somewhat of a beast at ecom. So, you know, at least it was built by someone who actually understands e-commerce. Like that's the good part about like ClickFunnels and Kartra and uh, Kartra, ClickFunnels, and Zipify. Like the guys that have built these softwares, they've actually done a lot of e-commerce stuff. You know, so like um, they know what works and stuff like that to a certain degree. The other softwares I have no idea, but from some of the other softwares I've seen, their owners were really like SaaS guys. Like they just saw a need and they were like, okay, well, I'll build a software and make some money with it. That's it. The different types of funnels. Free plus shipping funnel. This is the funnel where you give away something for free in exchange for a customer you can sell more products to. The goal of this funnel is to acquire a high volume of customers fast. Okay, so the way a free plus shipping funnel works is, guys, you must have known this already. It's like, hey, I'll give you this product for free, just take care of the shipping, you know. And the shipping is usually an inflated price. So it's like they'll charge like fucking $10 to $20 for shipping, and they're like, and the product only costs like $7 on AliExpress, you know. So yeah. Direct sales page funnel. This is a funnel usually used for any products under the price of $100, which do not require a lot of selling. You use this funnel, so it's like any product under $100. The sales page funnel is usually, honestly, is my favorite. It's just smooth, it's easy, and it's a very very simple process. You just send them to a sales page and people buy stuff. The other processes are a bit more complicated. For example, the next one is the pre-sale funnel. This is usually used for more advanced products, subscription boxes, supplements. Honestly, though, a lot of times when people use the pre-sale funnel, because the reason the pre-sale funnel was invented is to advertise aggressively on media sources that do not allow aggressive advertising. So it's like the whole pre-sale funnel, I believe, was invented from the CPA industry, because this was something that we used to do a lot in the CPA business, where if you had to sell supplements on Facebook, you were not allowed to do so. So what we would do is we would set up like a pre-sale funnel, which is, it looks like it's a blog article basically. It's a blog article, and it says something like, 8 ways to prevent acne, for example. And then like the seventh step is, hey, buy this product and it helps you a lot. So it's like you could do that and you could get away with it, and it's more of a native form of advertising, and it works really well. So for example, if you're selling, I have a buddy of mine actually. He sells like these adventure subscription boxes for kids, and the way he does that is like he just has a pre-sale page that says something like 8 tips to have a great vacation or something like that, and then the seventh tip is to get this adventure box, and your kid is gonna be happy as hell, and here's all the stuff that he's gonna get. Um, it's a pretty smart way of marketing. Okay, and again, this is more for advanced products, more expensive products, products that are hard to advertise on traffic sources generally. So yeah. Fourth is the application funnel, usually used for more B2B e-commerce or higher ticket products. When you're selling B2B e-commerce, right? So it's like you're selling stuff in a bulk, or you're trying to get clients for your B2B supplements. So for example, if you have a manufacturing company and you want to sell a ton of products to other dropshippers, or convince them to sell your stuff or do deals like that, you would need an application funnel. Or if you're selling, let's say, furniture, you would need an application funnel, because you want people to fill out a form so your sales team could jump on a call with them and close them. So it's like when you're selling products that require a bit more of an explanation, you can have people fill out an application, and then your sales department is going to call and close them. The lead generation funnel. This is a funnel you use to sell slightly more high ticket products, and also products that are very niche specific. The idea with this funnel is to collect their email and constantly remarket to them. You can offer discounts, special deals, or even free gifts to get their emails. If you're in a very niche specific sort of uh, business, right? So, for example, I had this client, he used to sell brake calipers. And that's a very specific audience for it. There's a very, very minute specific audience for it. That audience is very, like we've tested it, but it's very hard to convince that audience to go to a page and just put their details there and buy something. It's just going to be hard. Instead of that, now, however, if you convince them to give them your name and email, so you could give them a discount, you could give them a special offer, give them something for free. So it's like, hey, we'll give you a free deal, we'll give you a free car spray or something like that for X amount. If you have certain types of cars, fill your email address out and get the free coupon or something like that. Anything that is a bit creative. Then you get their name and email, and now you can schedule a visit, even a phone number in some cases if you want it. And now they're going to come in with a coupon, and then you can upsell them the caliper, right? Now it's easier too because Facebook has a whole track offline sales thing. So it's like if their Facebook account comes at a certain radius near your office space or near wherever you want them to come, then Facebook registers that as a sale if they buy something. So yeah, now it's just easier. Creating the offer. Here's what you need to create a great offer: the deep dive method. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this. You see, a great offer is never about how cool your product is, but it's more about how cool it is for the customer and why they need to take action and why they need to take the action now, not tomorrow. The deep dive method is going to help you tap into your customers on an unconscious level and sell them your products effortlessly. Alright guys, so now let me show you the deep dive method. So here's a few questions you got to answer about your target market. Okay? And this is going to give you a lot more clarity when it comes to building the funnel and creating your offer and whatnot. Question number 1. What is the biggest problem that your product can fix? Question number 2. What problems do they have that they do not know of yet? And I'm going to be answering these questions for you later on and giving you examples in certain niches and whatnot, so you can learn from it. Number 3, what is their slang? What slang words do they use? What specific niche specific words do they have that you can use in your advertising to build rapport? Very important. Number 4, what is their greatest desire? Number 5, what are their objections? What do they hate to do to fix the problem? And these are the 5 questions that you need to answer. And here's the Life Force 8, right? And this is taken from a book called Cash Advertising. Highly recommend you reading this book. Probably one of the best books I've ever read in copywriting, apart from Dan Kennedy's books. But yeah, here's the Life Force 8, right? And I'm going to be showing you guys how to relate every one of your answers to these Life Force 8. So Life Force 1 is survival. The Life Force 8 are basically the 8 biggest motivators for a human being. Okay, number 1 is survival, enjoyment of life, and life extension. So if you're going to sell any product to people and appeal to their will to survive, their will to enjoy life, their will to extend their life, it's going to work very well. Quite honestly, if you take a look at all the snake oil salesmen, right, they've been banking off of this principle their whole life. They'll I don't know if you guys know who John Rockefeller is. He's the oil guy, Standard Oil, and like one of the richest people back in his day. Not one of the richest people, the richest person back in his day. The conspiracy theorists love Rockefeller, because they blame him for everything. But anyway, point being, his dad was a snake oil salesman, and he would go from place to place and tell them he had the cure for cancer, and it would work really well because, again, he's appealing to people's survival. Now, am I asking you to be a scumbag? Absolutely not. Okay, so don't get that impression. However, if you can take whatever you're selling, right, which in this case I'm sure is an ethical product, and you find ethical claims and ethical promises that you can relate with the life force 8, or more specifically here, with the survival part of the product, you're going to sell well. Okay, so for example, let's say you're selling, what are you selling? Let's say you're selling something as simple. Again, you don't have to just rely on the survival part. You can relate with anything from the life force 8. But let's say you're selling this indestructible shoes, right? You can relate it with survival. So it's like you can tell people a story. Now, don't make this up, all right, guys, but find a story about how indestructible shoes saved a guy on an adventure, right? Okay, so basically make it seem like, okay, hey, this guy was like, he went mountain climbing, he was on top of the mountain, a rock hit his like on his foot, and the dude's leg broke or something like that, and he had to go through all of this pain, and they had to and a helicopter had to go up there, carry him from there and get him to an hospital, and then he figured that he'd lost his leg. You have that story. At the end, you're like, and this is why the indestructible shoes were created, is to prevent this sort of sort of danger. What are the indestructible shoes? They're basically these shoes you can hit it with a hammer. It's not going to affect you. It's like the strong shoe basically. Okay, so it's like you wear this, you're safe, and not just that. What is our biggest objection now? It's like, oh well, it may not look good. I don't want to wear a metal shoe. Hell no. It doesn't just have a metal layer on it. It looks amazing too. I mean, look at it. It looks so cool. Now you're selling people stuff, right? But yeah, that's the first most important part, which is survival. Second, enjoyment of food and beverages. People want to be able to enjoy food and beverages. That's a very big dictator of their behavior. Freedom from fear, pain, and danger. So people are inherently scared of fear and pain and any dangerous situation. So if you can help them prevent that, you're going to be doing good. Sexual companionship. So if anything is going to make them look cooler, seem cooler, so they can attract, like if it's a single guy, they can attract cuter women. If they're married, attract more attention from their wife or their husband, whatever. Sexual companionship is also a very big factor. Comfortable living conditions. Everyone wants to live in a comfortable living condition. You know what I mean? They don't want to be, they don't want to wake up at 7 in the morning, go to a job and do all of these things just to do it. There's a very small percentage of people in the world that actually want to wake up and go to work. A lot of them just want a comfortable living condition, and they go to work just because of it. I mean, look at what that tells you about the way people operate. It's like people will wake up in the morning at 7 and they'll go work till 5 or 6 or whatever and go back home, all because they want to live comfortably. So this is a big factor when it comes to the life force, when it comes to human behavior. Number 6, to be superior, winning, keeping up with the Joneses. That's self-explanatory. I mean, your wife comes and tells you, hey, your neighbor bought a car, dude. You want to go buy a car now. That's just how it works. It's like people are trying to be superior. They want to win out of a group of 10 people. They want to be the best guy. They want to have the best car. They want to have the best beard. They want to have the best kid. They want to have the best everything. Okay, that is a big factor that influences human behavior. Number 7, care and protection of loved ones. They want the care and the love of people that they love. They want them to be protected. Okay, so people go great lengths for it to protect their loved ones. So it's like if you're selling anything, for example, that has to do with keeping your kids safe. It's like, baby monitor. A special feature, when your kid cries, we'll give you a beep. It's care and protection of the loved ones. So the product's going to sell extremely well. Okay? Number 8, social approval. They want to be approved by society. Of course, there is a group of people that is very small that do not require the social approval. As a matter of fact, they will do things to get social disapproval. That's the way they were raised. But that's only about 10% of the people, maybe 5. The rest of the people are all looking for social approval. And what I do, like what I'm doing, is it correct? Or is it right? Or is it cool? Is it accepted? You know, and this is something you gotta tap into. So if you're selling products that are not very accepted by the society, then you need to find then you need to find angles that make it seem like they're accepted. So yeah, let me give you an example. The Valhalla mug, however you pronounce it, this is something we sold. The core audience for this is Vikings, people that loved Vikings, Norse god fans, Marvel fans, God of War fans, because God of War is a game. Marvel had the movie Avengers Infinity War, so we had Thor in it, which, obviously, who was obviously a Norse god, and this looks like something that Thor's fans would like. So here's the deep dive. What is their number one problem? Not perceived as a very cool person. That is their problem. So six, seven, eight. What life force factors does that influence to be superior? So when someone isn't feeling like when someone feels like he's not the coolest guy, like he feels inferior and he wants to be superior, right? So that's the sixth factor. Seventh factor, is that seventh factor? Six, seven, eight. I don't know why I put seven there. I was meaning to put like something else in there, but social approval is one of the ones that it's 648. Okay, because they're looking for sexual companionship when they have a cool product, and then they need social approval. They want to seem cool. They want to get validated as a person. So yeah, number two, what problems do they have that they do not know of yet? Boring homes that do not signify what they stand for. Boring decor. Not interesting icebreakers. Social approval again. Now, if they had this mug, right? If they had this mug, like they could take it up to people and be like, hey, look at this mug, and people are going to be like, oh, that's interesting. Or they could just keep it there, and then people are going to be like, hey, dude, nice mug. So that's an icebreaker. They do not understand that their problem, the reason they're not perceived as a cool person, is because they don't have these convo openers, these icebreakers. So you could sell them tons of other cool icebreaker products once you get them in that zone, and they're going to keep buying, because your messaging is good. Norse, what is the slang? Norse, Odin, Thor, Valhalla. Let me give you an example, guys. Right? Let's say the dude's hosting a party. There's like gonna be like four or five girls there. All these girls are like big fans of Infinity War and Thor and whatever. They come to their place and they're like, oh god, that's a cool looking skull mug. And they're like, where'd you get that? The dude is like, oh well, I made it myself. Like I had to chop someone's head off to get it. No, I'm joking. That obviously wouldn't be a great icebreaker, but the fact that they're inviting him and asking him that question is like a good icebreaker for him, and then he could ask them what their name is and whatever. So for a person that's not perceived as a very cool guy, he like this is going to be a life changer for him, because it's going to get people asking him questions rather than him asking them questions. So yeah. Now here's the weird part about this is with products like this, right? Cool products, there's not necessarily a lot of problems. It's more of a fanaticism, but still, it's always cool to break it down, because now you have a different perspective of how to approach things in case the fanaticism thing doesn't work. Okay. Number four, what is their greatest desire? To be perceived as a cool person. Again, 8 and 4. Life force 8 and 4. Number 5, they don't have. Hang on, what is number 5? What are their objections? What do they hate to do to fix the problem? They don't have a lot of money to buy life-size statues to look cool, or a lot of the expensive tech stuff. So that is their major problem, right? And they just don't have the money to buy, like, let's say, a life-size statue of Thor. So something like this, however, it's going to be a cool thing. It's going to be a convo opener for them, Next product we have here are the indestructible shoes, which I told you about. And if you're going to go after an audience that does a lot of adventurous activity, so here's the deep dive for that. Number one, what is the greatest problem? Get injured while adventuring, survival, and freedom from pain. So these are the two major motivators we're tapping onto here. Number two, what are the problems that they have, but they haven't noticed it yet, or they haven't thought of yet? Number one, stepping over something dangerous. What if they were going mountain climbing and they step on glass? That's painful, right? What if they step on something even worse? What if they get into the water somewhere and they step on? Could be a wide variety of things. There's a lot of dangerous stuff in adventuring. So rocks stumbling on their foot while rock climbing, whatever. There's a ton of these problems. You know, what if they were swimming and they ended up stepping on a stonefish? Not a stonefish. Yeah, it is a stonefish or a lionfish. That's dangerous. You know. So now these are problems that they might not know of yet. So, for example, you want to sell to people that are swimming a lot. You write an article that says something alongside of. You write a pre-sale page that says something alongside of the crazy hazards of swimming in the sea, the stonefish, the killer of the sea, or something like that. And like you basically give them 7 reasons why stonefish is so dangerous, and then at the end it's like, oh, if you want to be protected by the stonefish, buy the shoe. That's as simple as it is. Like, here's the shoe, and all of a sudden you're hitting the survival factor and freedom from any pain and fear and danger, and you're gonna sell them stuff non-stop. So that's cool. Backpack and beta, etc. These are the slangs that you're gonna be using. Snorkeling. If you're gonna go after marine things too. Snorkeling. I don't know if you can use these shoes in the sea though. I'm not sure yet, but in case you do promote it, always you can always test it yourself, like wear it and go into the sea and see how that works for you. Take more risks and engage in an intense adventure activity without the fear of being injured. That's what they want. That's their greatest desire, right? Don't want to wear a huge shoe that looks disgusting. That's anybody's objection. So they don't want to wear this big ass shoe that is heavy as hell and that looks disgusting, and people staring at them and stuff like that. So obviously that's like a big objection of theirs, and if you can fix it, then dope. Next product we have here is a beard oil. So it's like HTHN Valhalla beard oil. Valhalla is the ultimate destination for all Vikings. This majestic hall, located in Asgard, is where your soul will dine with the gods and the almighty Odin, whatever we put on there, man. Core audience: people who want to grow a beard that are also a fan of the Norse myth. That's our audience. The deep dive, here you go. Their biggest problem, not being able to grow a solid beard. The problems that they have that they don't know of yet: skin not being moisturized enough leads to them not having a solid beard. Dreaded beard hitch, beard dandruff, tons of problems. Again, guys, the reason you're getting answers to these questions is because you're going to be using these later on in your funnel, like I'm going to show you, and it's going to have this sort of a bang effect. Like, you're going to be able to build funnels that convert really well. The slangs are Norse, Odin. Number 4, their greatest desire is to look more masculine, attract more attention from women, which again goes back to the Life Force 8. Sexual companionship, Life Force 8 for Life Force 4. Don't want to have a hideously looking beard with patches everywhere. That's something that they don't want to have. So why is someone not going to grow a beard? Because he thinks that it's going to look hideous on him. He thinks that it's going to have patches everywhere and stuff like that. Those are his objections. Now, if you can tell him that he's not going to have these problems when he uses your beard oil, you can sell him. So here's a few more things you need to create the offer. You need a list of the features and benefits of the product. You need more product information, obviously. So it's like, what is the product doing? I mean, is there any specific things in the product? So it's like, if you're selling supplements, what are in the supplements? What more specific information can you use here? That's something you need. A USP is also very important. You got to get a USP in place because you want to distinguish yourself from the rest of the competition. Now, if you look at this beard oil too, right? It's like it's a normal beard oil. Like, there's nothing different with it. But what is the USP that these guys are using here? It is a Norse beard oil. So it's not just a normal beard oil, but it's like a Norse one. It's very niche specific. So the people that are into Thor, they would prefer this beard oil more than any other beard oil because this is something that relates with them. You know what I mean? It's something that they like. They want to grow a beard like Thor. Um, Another thing is customer objections. So answer this question, and you gotta answer this from your customer's perspective. This won't work for me because, okay, and you gotta get as many answers to this question as you can. So it's like, okay, this product won't work for me because I cannot grow a beard. I've never grown a beard before. So now you can use that in your ad copy, and you can write an ad that basically says this product will work for you even if you've never grown a beard before. And that is powerful because once you figure out what these objections are, you'll be able to hit on them hard and create that effect where you're basically where a person feels like you look into him and you know exactly what he wants. You have that trusted advisor role. This is really powerful. For example, with the indestructible shoes, he could be saying something like that, something like, this won't work for me because I don't really run into a lot of dangerous situations. Now you know what the objection is. So it's like, hey, do you know that you can run into a dangerous situation every 10 minutes? Like you can step out of your home right now and a car could run over your leg, something like that. Now that sounds insane a little, but what other objections we got? Hang on, let's come up with more examples here. Oh, this one, this beard oil, this weight loss supplement is not gonna work for me because I eat too much. Okay, now we know what the game there is. So it's like, hey, use this supplement to lose weight even while eating too much. That's a perfect ad. That's a perfect bullet for your funnel. You know what I mean? And that is why this is so important to come up with the common customer objections, because you can reframe all of these objections and use them for your favor, basically. So yeah, guarantees. You got to come up with your own guarantees. So it's like these are the 30-day money back guarantee, 40, 60-day money back guarantee, whatever you want to do. That's cool. So come up with figure out what guarantees you can offer. So guys, now we're going to go into the freestyle session, right? And I'm going to pull any of the three products, and I'm going to show you guys how to create the headline and create the body content and whatever. So in this case, let's just choose the beard oil first, and let me show you exactly how to do it. All right, so I'll see you on the Google document in a second. All right, so here we are on the Google document. So now, right, what do you need to get a funnel? Number one, you need a headline, right? Number two, you need body content. Number three, you need images. Number four, you need call to action button. Okay, what does body content mean? Bullets, product description, explainer videos, etc. So I'm not going to be covering the images here because images is obviously something that you would have to source. Yeah, I'll probably do a quick video for you on how to find images that convert really well later on, but right now you don't really need it. So yeah, let's figure out. So what we're going to be promoting here is the beard oil, right? Or we're going to try to come up with angles for the beard oil, the Valhalla beard oil, or whatever you want to call it. It's like, so the audience is Norse, and let's go back here for a second, and we could go to, yeah, there you go. So their number one problem is not being able to grow a solid beard. So in this case, the headline could be something as simple as, are you sick and tired of not being able to grow a beard? Now, of course, when you're attacking more complicated niches that have that are kind of regulated on Facebook. So if you're doing weight loss or something like that, and you're using an ad that says, "Are you sick and tired of not losing weight?" You may run into problems, like you may get banned or whatnot. So careful with that. But for something like beard oil, you should be fine with it. Like it's not that big of a problem if you're going to promote beard oils. So yeah, that is that. All right. So anyway, the first that's gonna be the headline, and then the body content is gonna be how do you come up with here? Do you want to grow the beard? Do you want to grow a beard like Thor? Okay, because that is one of their biggest desires. I've not noted it here, but that is one of their biggest desires. They want to look like Thor or Odin, you know. So, do you want to look? Do you want to look more masculine and dominant? Do you, if you answered yes, this is what I call as the transition statement. So it's like you give them two questions and they're like, yeah, and then you tell them if you answered yes. So basically, what you try to do is you're trying to build rapport with the person, right? And this is a form of invisible influence, and this is something I've been using for years when it comes to funnels and stuff like that. It's like you use this instantly, your pages are gonna start converting really good. Okay, so it's like, oh, do you want to be this person? They're like, yeah, and then you're like, well, if you answered yes, then here's the deal. So that is gonna give you more of this trusted advisor kind of vibe. Okay, if you answered yes, this beardo will help you. Here's some of its features and benefits. And what you do, guys, is when it comes to the here's some of its features. You don't mention benefits. When it comes to the features, you take every feature of it and you try to tie it with any of either the problems that they don't have, and then make it a benefit. So, for example, in this case, this beard oil helps you moisturize the skin under your beard, which enables, this is not going to be a bullet, sorry, hang on. So over here I could write something like, look, I understand, I tried very hard to grow a beard too, to grow a great beard for years, and always ran into these problems. You could list some of the objections there. So it's like hideously looking beard. Tried to grow a beard for years and always had these hideous beards. Hideous beards that had patches everywhere. I would look at some of these television and Instagram stars, and wonder how they grew a beard. Which is when I decided to use this supplement. Now, guys, look, here's the thing. You don't have to make a story like this up, but if you make it, then cool. I mean, if you do have a story like this, right? So where you didn't have a beard for a long period of time, and then you discovered what the problem is, and then you figured out how to get a beard. You have a real story like that, then by all means use it. But if you don't have it, don't fake it. What you could do is you could find someone else with a beard, and you could maybe use their story to see what their problems were. Or worst case scenario, you don't have anything like that. Just find another way to sort of deal with it. So in this case, for example, if you had no story like this, well, let me finish this. Hang on. When I decided to research this topic, I figured that this is because of one of the problems that they think they're having, but they're not having. So skin not being moisturized enough leads them to not having a solid beard. Because of my skin not being moisturized enough, which led me to not having a solid beard. That is when I cracked the code. And now my beard looks like this, so I can put a picture there. Okay, so that is plot number 1. And I'm still waiting for the thing to finish. Alright, so angle number 2 is you just take whatever the heck is going on and you can reframe it. Okay, so for example, here's a few reasons why you have patchy beards. Why you have patchy beards. Beard dandruff, beard, dry skin, whatever, right? Now I don't know the nuts perfectly, but you could come up with these reasons. Okay, and I was trying to find a few reasons. It's just that I didn't have a lot of time to go in and research it because it's gonna take a bit. But guys, you can go in and you can research some of these things and see what really is the problem of the consumer. For example, if you're gonna sell the indestructible shoes, right? All you got to do is go to Google and just write an article that says, here's a few problems that people generally face when it comes to rock climbing or whatever, and just put that on there, right? And then you put some of its features in there and you somehow link it to the benefits. So for example, in this case, some of the features are skin not being, because over here you just told them that having dry skin is what causes the problem. So it's like skin not being moisturized enough leads to patchy beards. This beard oil will moisturize your skin. Okay, something like that. And that's really it. Now let's find a second product for me to give you an example of. Let's take this one for example, the Valhalla mug, right? So it's like, do you want to be the star of your party? Now, since this is a fantasism product, like this isn't a product that necessarily is high ticket or it's really a problem solving product, so it doesn't require a lot of explanation. It's just a cool product. But in case you wanted to do the whole explanation route, so this is something that you could use. The let me reframe the headline. Skull funnel. Hang on. The headline in this case is going to be a cool mug that is guaranteed. Okay, now this could be a bit unethical to do. That is lighting up parties all over the world. Or in this case, what is the to be perceived as a cool person? Okay. All over the world and is the best icebreaker in town or something like that, right? And like here's the goal, guys. You just gotta brainstorm like this, right? And I like at this point, like honestly, like you guys, I'll probably do like another masterclass session where you guys can send me your product details and I'll do some research on it and come up with some of these things, right? Because that's the most important part. It's like coming up with some of these like brainstorming and coming up with the headlines and some of the body content and the closes and whatever. So yeah, the call to action button in both cases is going to be buy this product now. So the call to action is pretty generic, and I'll probably upload a list of all CTAs that you can use. Anyway, so that is how you brainstorm and create the offer. Now since that is out of the way, let's go to the next step, which is the done for you funnel. So go to eliteecomgroup.com/funnel share to get access to the free funnel, not the free funnel, but the funnel that we're giving away to you for free that we made $43,000 with, just that funnel. And the funnel is proven to convert. So yeah, let me give you a live demo of the funnel. All right. So here, I'm going to click on this. There you go. So here's the funnel. Here's how the funnel looks. Here you're going to have your product explainer video. And here you're going to have your product image. You're going to have a timer down here. You're going to have your main title up here, free worldwide shipping, your trust badges, your call to action button with the price and stuff like that. And then you're going to have this disclaimer, which is if you're going to use AliExpress, this disclaimer is going to handle all the fulfillment. It's going to reduce the amount of refunds and chargebacks you get because you're intimating your customers that they're going to get the product in 4 weeks. Majestically handcrafted, perfect for the Vikings in your life. Exclusive, only 250 made worldwide. Honor your clan this new year. And then you have some product details here, which is forged of stainless steel, high quality resin. This is one of a kind handcrafted chalice, inspired by the originals by the Vikings of Gotland. Again, like this is more of a fantasism product, right? So it's not a problem solving product. So the more fantasy you can build around a fantasism product, the more interesting it gets. So in this case, it's handcrafted chalice from the Vikings of Gotland. Now, originally used by the Vikings of Gotland. Truth is, who gives a shit? It's like, people from, what does this have to do with anything? Like, what is the fact that a Viking from Gotland, Sweden, used this thousands of years ago, or used a similar mug thousands of years ago? Fucking absolutely nothing, right? But it builds up the social value. It builds up the value of this product because you're in the fantasism angle. It builds up the value of it to a point where a person's like, shit, dude, I gotta own this, and again, social approval, sexual companionship, superior than everyone else. Okay, shit, I have this Viking of God, like, I have the same mug, but I have a chalice that is inspired by the originals used by the Vikings of Gotland and Sweden. Jesus Christ, I'm great. Fact is, no one cares. No one cares about using the Viking of Gotland, but you make it seem like that, then they do. you know so yeah, I mean, like, a lot of these things, right? You got to understand that it's all marketing when it comes to fantasism products. It's all good marketing. It's all social value. Take Louis Vuitton, right? I buy a ton of stuff from Louis Vuitton too. So it's like, like, these people, they may tell you that their quality is like amazing and they have the best products in the market, whatever. Truth is, guys, you could buy, like, if you want to buy a belt, you can buy any belt. Why buy Louis Vuitton? Why pay fucking 500, 600, even $700 for a belt? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Then they're like, oh, well, the quality of this belt is so good. Well, shit, you could buy 7 different belts for it for the same exact price. What is the difference? Oh, it's handcrafted. Who cares? Who cares? Like, who really cares? The primary goal, for example, take cars, right? What is the primary goal of a car? It is to get you from point A to point B. It is to protect you from harsh weather. It is to make you go from point A to point B rather comfortably. So what is a BMW can do that for you? You know what I mean? A BMW can take you from one place to another in a comfortable way, and it can do all that stuff for you. Why do people pay 2 or 3 times more for a Rolls Royce? Probably more times than that. Why do people pay that amount of money for a Rolls Royce? I mean, they pretty much do the same thing. Oh, it's handcrafted. Who cares? What if it's handcrafted? Because look, that's the thing, and that's how you need to start looking at marketing a bit more. A lot of the products that you're going to be selling in the fantasism league of things, or in the luxury end of things, they have no inherent value. It's all manufactured value. You know what I mean? So when we write an ad copy like this, and it's like handcrafted chalice is inspired by the originals used by the Vikings of Gotland, it is a manufactured value. You know what I mean? That bumps up the product. Am I saying it's a wrong thing to do? Hell to the fuck no. It is a great thing to do. That's what the world is. That's what the world runs on. Consumerism. You know, after all the wars and stuff like that, consumerism is what kept the governments continue to make money. That's how the governments make money. When you buy stuff, they get paid a tax on it. So that's what the world runs on. It's just that you got to understand how to use some of these principles to your benefits. So, for example, you got this mug. If I don't have to use that, what else can I use? Imagine having a mug that is similar to the ones used by Vikings. Then they're like, oh my God, dude, this is cool. Imagine I couldn't use that. Imagine I had to come up with another angle. Now let's try. What else could he come up with for this mug? Imagine drinking from the skulls of your enemies. Ooh, they have that image in their mind now. They're like, oh my God, this is so cool. Imagine holding the skull Imagine holding a mug with a skull face on it, feeling like a true Viking or a true barbarian. The people that want to feel like barbarians, for them it's manufactured value. They're going to love it and they're going to be like, shit, I'll feel like it. Let me get it. It's all marketing, guys. It's all marketing. You know, get used to it. Another trust badge. And here's some more product images. You love your very own piece of the Viking life. We guarantee it. No catch, no gimmicks, nada, zip. Guarantee there. Today's only flash sale. Here we used to have the product explainer video. I had to delete it. And what people are saying, testimonials, you know. So yeah, here's your funnel, and then so we also give you the order page that you can use, and this is something that you can use. So here's the product image here, a few testimonials down here. One thing we've tested after that with a few of the other products is we put the testimonials on the top here, and that converted even better for us. So that's something that I'm probably going to make and edit to the funnel and make that for you, so it's going to convert better. But yeah, so like this is the order form that you're going to get, and then we have the tiered chalice OTO. And there's going to be a few more done for you funnels, all right? So I'm going to be laying down a few more done for you funnels for you. So this is the OTO page, specially made for the holiday season. The regular $59.95, 50% off. You can buy this for just $29.95 now. Perfect addition to the tier funnel. Only 50 pieces available, so that's some scarcity there. Wait, one last time. Special holiday season offer. You'd use anything really. And then there's the thank you page. So that's about it, guys, right? And like it's a cool funnel, right? And now here's a few tips and strategies to make your funnel convert better. Number one, remember, it's always about the market, not about you. So when you're selling products that don't convert, when your claims don't convert, when your offers don't convert, remember that it's the market, not buying stuff. So try to figure out why the market isn't buying it and then buy stuff. Don't get too much in your head. Don't get caught up too much in your head, right? Again, as I said, it's a lot of it is really manufactured value. You know what I mean? Like for example, we had this one client that we worked with. The guy raised like $150,000 for a watch brand, and it was a very simple watch brand. There was nothing different about it. However, the way they manufactured the value of this watch was amazing. So they basically said that, we use product parts that are similar to the ones used in Rolex. And I don't know how true that is, honestly. I mean, maybe, I hope it's true. But they raised like $150,000 through Kickstarter. And it was crazy. And they had like great claims. So they were like, when you wear this watch, you'll feel like, the eagle is looking over you. The higher ticket the product, the more you would have to do it. The lower ticket the product, the easier it is for you. You don't have to manufacture the value too much. But it is what it is. Yeah, focus 70% of your effort on actually building a solid offer and 30% of your time on the actual funnel itself. So yeah, a lot of people get it twisted. They spend too much time building the funnel, too little time planning it out. You got to spend a lot of your time planning the thing, planning the offer, creating it, structuring it. And then once everything is done, once you have this document that I showed you here, that's when you get into ClickFunnels and try to build a funnel. Okay, because at that point you have the clarity necessary to build a funnel. Split testing is crucial if you want to increase your conversions. It's crucial. Okay. You want to be able to test different colors, test different headlines, test different images, different videos, whatever, to make it convert really good. The headline is the most important part of any page. So make sure you have a good headline. In our done for you funnel, honestly, our headline was basically, where is it? Here you go. Our headline basically was non-existent because, we did have a headline, but it is down here, right? That is because we were in a very niche specific product or a niche specific audience. If you're selling supplements or anything like that, you most definitely need a great headline and stuff like that. Again, I'm gonna give you done for you funnels for every niche, guys. So that's gonna be perfect for you. All right. What else do we got here? The isolation effect. Your call to action button must be of a bright color that stands out and isn't used anywhere else on the website. So if you got like an orange call to action button, don't use that button anywhere else on the site. All right, so that's something that you gotta do if you really want to bump up your conversions. I mean, it's something that we've tested and it worked really well for us. So don't worry too much about design if you're selling a lower ticket program. That's another thing. So it's like if you worry too much about the design part of the business, which is you're like, oh well, my page needs to have some of the best design in the world. Like it needs to look crazy good. It needs to look so cool. Yeah, you're messing up, guys. The primary purpose of a funnel is to get it to convert. Okay, not the design. It is to get it to convert. So so worry more about the conversions than the design. What we've found, and what even some of the other top experts in the business, they'll recommend you get ugly looking pages because some of them get people to take action. Again, they hire the product. Again, it depends, right? If you're a business consultant for affluent marketers, then you definitely need to have great design. If not, it's gonna mess things up for you. But if you're selling a lower ticket product and your sole focus is design, it's not necessary. Like this page looks good, but if you look at pre-sale landers and some of the stuff that we've used, it's not the prettiest looking pages that converted for us. It's the very simple looking ones. Use a HTTPS site. Use like that seal alone will increase your conversions. We've tested it. I've been testing it for years, honestly, and I've been using it for years. Every time you use it, it's just that your conversion numbers go up, guaranteed. Okay. So KISS principle: keep it simple, stupid. So this is another thing. Um, don't overcomplicate your processes. Keep it simple, and you know just get a funnel up and focus on the traffic. All right. With that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this webinar. This is quite a long webinar, man. I love sharing all the information with you. Hopefully you guys take action on it and get a ton of results. I'll see you on the next webinar, guys. All right. Peace.